Last time I did a video on the various controllers that I've used for fighting games, Mortal Kombat to be more precise. And my goal was to explain why I think that the HITBOX controller is the best controller, in my opinion, to use for Mortal Kombat. These are the games that I've played in the past for Super Nintendo. Okay, got Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat 3, and I've got a few PlayStation games also for Mortal Kombat. So this is Soul Calibur, Marvel, Mortal Kombat Ultimate, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat 4, all kinds of fighting games. And my first controller was the Super Nintendo, as you can see here. You see this right here? That mark? That's from playing too much fighting games. And I have to go through this pain that results from hitting the buttons too much or too often. I used to play Mortal Kombat religiously, Mortal Kombat 3. So this and the Dreamcast. See what I got. Got a few more controllers here. A few more Kombat games. Killer Instinct, War Gods, kinds of stuff. Okay, I think yeah. Xbox One controller. Okay. Once I realized that these controllers are not friendly on the fingers, I decided to change controller. So my first controller was a joystick, the change. I decided let's just try something new and see how it feels. And to my surprise, it's a lot tougher to get used to the joystick from the controller. It takes me probably 600 hours to finally get used to the fingering part of the joysticks. You know, instead of doing this, now you're doing fingers. Totally different feel, and it takes a while to get used to. 600 hours. Then I realized that the joystick itself is not perfect. The finger part is good, but the joystick part, sometimes you want to do an up movement, but it turns out that the controller interprets that as a jump movement, not an up movement. So many times my combos got messed up. That's why I was looking into an alternative controller. If there's any kind of controller out there that would offer a better accuracy in terms of button inputs. And one day I went to a Mortal Kombat competition, Texas Showdown, and there was a guy, he goes by the name of Black, and he played a Scorpion, and he was fighting against Scar in the final. And I saw him using something that looks like a keyboard, just all keys. There's no joystick. So I approached him and asked him, what's that thing that he's using, and how can you control jumping and all that. He goes, oh, it's easy, just this control, you know, jump up and down, back. I said, this is totally new to me. I didn't realize that there's something like this in existence. So because I didn't like the controller because of the joystick accuracy issue, and I didn't like the usual control pad, I decided to go ahead and try out the HITBOX. Okay, I went to the HITBOX website and pre-ordered one. This one works for PS1, PS3, Xbox One, and PC, but you can also use an adapter that allows you to connect to different gaming systems, I think. So I bought this thinking, how hard could it be to learn a new controller, right? Because it looks similar to the joystick. But it turns out that that's not quite the case. It may be easy to go from a fight stick to a hitbox on the right hand side, okay? But on the left hand side, the jumping is totally counterintuitive. It's very, very hard to adjust to that. Adjust to the fact that this, instead of this being down, is actually up. No. Instead of being up, it's actually down. And instead of being down, that's actually up. You would think that since this is the bottom, it's down, that's up, but it's not. This is down, this is up. And you can't change that. Okay? There's no way you can go in the settings and change all of that. So, after a while of trying this, playing Mortal Kombat X and XL, I dropped this controller. Many times I dropped it because it's just so hard to jump properly. But I kept on going back and forth between the fight stick and this, because I kept on not liking the fight stick. And I gave this a chance, many chances. Well, after about 200 hours of trying this controller, I began to get the feel for it, and I began to realize that it's more accurate than anything I've tried on. More accurate than the joystick, especially the jumping part, and much more friendly to the fingers. You don't ever get tired from playing on the box. Okay? So that's where I'm at. I've been using this to fight Mortal Kombat 11. It's a lot of fun to play the game using the joystick, using the hitbox. That was a complete surprise to me because I didn't know what to expect when I bought this. I thought it was going to be something like the control pad or the fight stick, but it's not. This is the best kind of controller for Mortal Kombat, and I would recommend anyone to try it out and give it some time, at least 200 hours of trying it out. So I think I'm going to explain a little bit on the buttons configuration of this. For Mortal Kombat, my configuration is left, right, down, up, and I have low punch, high punch, low kick, high kick. This is a block button. This is a grab button. This is an interactable button. And I don't know what this is. Oh, stance flip, which you never use in Mortal Kombat. This is the most useless button anyone could have come up with. With this hitbox, you can replace the buttons easily. I've replaced a couple of them. This one, and I think this one too. When they go bad, you replace them, and it's very easy to replace. You know, just a few screws in the back. Very easy to remove the background and unplug the bad button and replace them with a new one. I'm going to show you some moves on how this fight stick will work in a real fighting scenario. Okay. Hopefully I'll find someone to play against. Well, looks like there's no one, so I'm going to end this video now. And I think that was clear enough to anyone who is interested in giving this a chance.